So guys, I did it. The superhero thing I wanted to do was be invisible. And you guys can literally see through me. I am invisible. Oh no, everything I touch is invisible too. How are we gonna do gum today? I gotta really figure out how to go back to being visible again. Whew. Well, while I'm doing that, you guys need to grab a few things for your gum lesson. You need your gum book. You also need a pencil. Uh-oh, my pencil is see-through too. You need an eraser and your book. So while I go figure this out, go grab everything. And hopefully by the time I get back and you get back, y'all can see me. That was a close one. Now we can do gum. Okay, so turn to page 119, and we are already in Unit 4, Lesson 45. We've done 45 lessons. You guys are awesome. So just hang on tight because we're going to do a few more before the school year's over. Okay, so let's always, of course, read the gray box. It says, use I, we, he, she, you, it, and they as subjects of a sentences. Some subjects, what the sentence is about. Use me, us, him, her, you, it, and them after action verbs. Action verbs are moving verbs, okay? And after words such as to, at, for, of, from, on, and with. What? That's a whole bunch of words thrown into the gray box, but let's see how it works when we do the example up here. It says circle the pronoun in bold type that is used correctly. Basically, if it sounds wonky, it's probably wrong. Draw an X through the pronoun that is used incorrectly. Okay, so let's read this sentence. Andre and Vivian keep mice as pets. Food is provided by him. The cage is cleaned by she. Okay, first of all, we never say the cage is cleaned by she, right? It would be the cage is cleaned by her. So what do we need to do? Circle the pronoun that is used correctly. So the food. So Andre feeds the mice. The cage is cleaned by her, not she. So we're going to cross off she. Okay, so what we're going to do here, it says read each sentence. Draw a line under the pronoun in the parentheses that completes the sentence correctly. So we're not circling, we're underlining. They always throw me off because sometimes they underline, sometimes it's circling. So we're going to underline. Very important to read the directions. Okay, basically, you're going to think of how it sounds. Vivian calls the mice to she. Vivian calls the mice to her. Okay, so you underline her. Because it just doesn't make sense to say Vivian calls the mice to she. Okay. They do not come. Them do not come. They. Okay. This seems pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. I want you to do 3, 4, 5, and 6. Put this on pause, and then you can check your answers when you are finished when you push play. All right, let's review. Number 3, you should have underlined she. She catches the mice. We don't say her catches the mice. Number 4, Vivian puts them in a cage, not they in a cage. Number 5, you should have underlined I need fresh newspaper for the mouse cage, she yells to Andre. Number 6, he gives her the paper after she removes the old paper from the cage. And it says, some children learn to care for animals by keeping mice as pets. And actually, I worked in a first grade classroom and they had mice as pets, and the mice were really, really nice and loving, and they listened. It was actually pretty cool, but it's hard to get parents to agree to have mice as pets. My mom would have absolutely said nope. All right, turn the page. Okay, so now we're going to read each pair of sentences. Choose the pronoun from the word bank to complete each sentence correctly. Write the pronoun on the line. You can feed the mice now, Vivian told Andre. Blank have finished cleaning their cage. I have finished cleaning their cage, me have finished cleaning their cage, they have finished cleaning their cage, or them have finished cleaning their cage? And the answer is, dun dun dun, I. Number 8, I don't like to hold the mice, Andre said to Vivian. Will you put blank into the cage? Will you put me back into the cage? I don't think he's asking to go. Will you put they back into the cage, or will you put them back into the cage? I will do that, Vivian replied. Mice do not scare, well, we use them. Mice do not scare they, or mice do not scare me? The answer is me. Okay. And now you are going to write a question about mice. Make sure you use correct. We're going to write, it doesn't need to be a question, 3 sentences about mice. Maybe if you would like to have them for a pet, or if you wouldn't, 3 sentences about mice. It does not need to be a question. Just write 3 sentences. Make sure you have capitals and stop signs. So put this on pause when you're finished, and you're going to push play, and we are going to move on to the next 2 pages. All right, page 121, using I or me with another name. I have a trick for this, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's read the gray box. It says, I is a subject pronoun. It can be used as the subject of a sentence. Me is an object pronoun. It can be used after an action verb, or after a word such as to, at, for, of, from, on, or with. When you talk about yourself and another person, always name the other person first. Okay, so let's go back up. It says, I watch prairie dogs. They hide from me. Let's see what we can say. What we can need to do here. What if Ron watched prairie dogs with the speaker? Add Ron and before the pronoun in the bold type in each sentence. Write new sentences on the line below. Okay, so one of our rules down here was always name the other person first. So Ron and I watch prairie dogs. You have to kind of write small because these are short lines. That's why I kind of wrote them close together. So now we need to rewrite this sentence now. They hide from Ron and me. Okay, so my mom taught me a long time ago, because I always had a hard time with this and it used to drive her bonkers. If I went to the market with my friend Victoria, I would say Victoria and I went to the market. Okay, now her name comes first, but now if I take away Victoria and just say I went to the market, that still makes sense. Victoria and I went to the market. I would never say Victoria and me went to the market, which sometimes I had a bad habit of saying that. Victoria and me went to the market. If you took away Victoria and, it would just be me went to the market. And guess what? That sounds wonky, because we would always say I went to the market. So you have to make sure the sentence sounds correct both ways of doing it. So even still, sometimes in my head, I think about that. Okay, if I say Victoria and I went to the market, or Victoria and me, I just think, oh, me went to the market doesn't sound right, so it is Victoria and I. Okay, it's a little trick. All right. Number 1, we're going to go read the sentence, circle the phrase. See, we're back to circling. Circle the correct phrase to complete the sentence. Remember, the other person's name goes first. My aunt invited blank to her farm. So, if we took out the other person, my aunt invited I to her farm, or my aunt invited me to her farm. Well, it would be me, okay? And then we add the other person, so it would be Ron and me. Okay, blank went there with my parents. I went there with my parents or me went there with my parents. It'd be Ron and I. Okay, we're going to do 3 and 4, and then you guys are going to do 5 and 6 on your own. My aunt showed blank some holes in the field. My aunt showed I some holes in the field, or my aunt showed me some holes in the field. We'd say me, add the Ron and from before. Prairie dogs live in tunnels there, she told I, or she told me. It would be me, because Ron and goes before who's talking about who she's talking to. Blank, oh, you're going to do 5 and 6 on your own. So press pause, do 5 and 6, then press play and we'll go over it. Okay, number 5, Ron and I heard a loud barking sound across the field. And number 6, a prairie dog is sounding a warning, my aunt said to Ron and me. Okay, go ahead and turn the page. Okay, it says complete these sentences by writing a name, any name, and the pronoun I or me. You may use the name of a family member or friend. Remember to write the other person's name first. Blank and blank watch animal shows on TV. So think of someone's name. And what would we put here? I or me? I watch animal shows on TV or me watch animal shows on TV? So we know this is going to be I, because that makes sense. So right here, I'm going to put Maud. That's my niece. And it is also Agatha's middle name. Maud and I watch animal shows on TV. Okay? These programs interest, we're going to block these out. Interest I or interest me? It makes sense if we put me. These programs interest Hugh. I'm going to put Hugh. That's my nephew's name. These programs interest Hugh and me. Blank and blank love the show about prairie dog towns. I love the show about prairie dog towns, or me love the show? We'd put I here, and I'm going to put Ben. That's my other nephew. Benjamin. Just going to put Ben. And I love the show about prairie dog towns. Okay, so if you're adding someone else's name, pretend like their name's not there for a second, and then figure out if we're going to use I or me, whatever sounds right, and then you can add your friend's name. Okay, right here you're going to write 3 sentences about prairie dogs. Have at least 1 exclamatory sentence that's exciting about them. Please use correct punctuation. Exclamatory sentence is an exclamation point. Okay? We are not finished there, but what you're going to do is turn to your pages 200 and what? 211. And we are going to do section 45 and 46 for homework, since the last 2 things were classwork. We'll do number 1 together. It says Liz loves rodents but blank fears reptiles. We need to draw. First thing we should have done, draw a line under the pronoun that completes the sentence. So Liz loves rodents, but her fears reptiles, or she fears reptiles. So we would underline she. So you're going to do 2 through 5 there. And then here, you're going to circle I or me to complete the sentence. Edo and blank make masks. If I took their names out, I make masks or me makes masks. We're going to circle I. Okay? So you're going to also do page 211 when you're finished with your 3 sentences on prairie dogs. If you have any questions on anything, let me know, okay?